Hey there! You found Off the Water, the premier kayak fishing show for the Gulf Coast. We interview the best anglers to find out what they did, where they went, and what they used. Fishing reports, cool products and accessories, upcoming kayak tournaments, kayak safety, rigging tips and tricks, sponsor highlights, club member specials, and more, all on Off the Water, live and podcast. And now, here's your host of Off the Water, Mr. Sean Rastanis.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Off the Water. Just want to make sure that everybody out there can hear me real quick. We are coming in a new location and wanting to just make sure we get everything running smooth tonight. So we've got some people on. We've got a lot to catch up on, actually. A lot of things been going on with Bayou Coast the last few months. A lot of different things. We've got a great, exciting new tournament coming up this week, Dawn to Dusk. Kind of an interesting format. Lots of fishing happening. Going to be some really, really good things going on. So let me just check real quick with the gang and make sure we are good. All right. So let's play a little catch up real quick. So we've had a couple of big things happen after our minimalist tournament. You know, we had Paddlepalooza coming on. Then we had our we had a Bayou Coast event over at Backpacker for their summer adventure sale, and the club actually boiled. I think me and Eric and a couple other guys, Austin and Jonathan, and everybody out there, we boiled probably 300 something pounds of crawfish out there. Had a really good turnout. Really big thanks to Backpacker for letting us come out there. They had a great day on their sale, sold a bunch of kayaks, sold a bunch of other things. And then more recently, we had Family Day. Actually, I'm going to bring on my co-host here tonight, Mr. Jonathan Carter, is going to come on, help me talk about. I think Jonathan might be sporting a fresh new do. So let's get him on here and have him provide some additional commentary. Hey, man, how are you?
Hey, what's up, Sean?
Hey, how are you doing tonight?
Can y'all hear me all right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're coming to us
Good.
Live from St. Francisville.
Yeah, sorry, I'm out in the country. I don't know how good this internet's going to be, so hopefully it'll hold on there for me.
Yeah, it's kind of like dial up. You're about a 3 or 4 second delay.
I'm trying to convince my in-laws to get Starlink internet. Get on that Elon Musk internet.
Gotta love the country. Gotta love the country. So we were just talking about the Backpacker and what a success that was for the club and for the Backpacker. Actually, they actually had a really good deal out there that they sold some kayaks and sold a lot of items out there.
Oh yeah, that was a ton of fun. I had to leave a little bit early, but it was fun getting to go hang out with everybody and see everybody and partake in some of the crawfish and fun.
Absolutely. And I tell you, the biggest thing also, more recently, we had our first Bayou Coast Family Day in quite a while. And that was back, when was that, Jonathan? It was back in April, I think. Late March, early April?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was the beginning of April, April 2nd, maybe, whatever that
Yeah.
first Saturday was, in conjunction with the Massey's Demo Day, and we did the Massey's Fish Picks awards from last year, and did the Family Day and had some fun events.
That was a really good time. We had the blow up for the kids. We had some competitions out there. The cornhole event that I believe you and Tyler were fortunate enough to take down, beating me and my 12-year-old daughter and in the cornhole championship.
I think yeah, I think Buttons did most of the work there. I was just there on cleanup duty.
Tyler's arms were so big, he was literally able to almost just drop his thing in the cornhole because his arms are so long. So I mean, it really wasn't that fair. But yeah, he wanted to make sure. Tyler, I did mention the cornhole championship, how you took it down. We had some other plaques out there. Cooked a lot of crawfish that day. We had a lot of crawfish we cooked that
Yeah.
day, and that
Oh,
came
that
out really
crawfish got
well.
devoured.
Yeah, yeah. So it was a beautiful day out there, and that was really nice. And then, so that's something hopefully we can keep doing in the future. Maybe find a little bit different location than Bayou Bienvenue. Although that was I'm not Bayou Bienvenue, but Bayou St. John. It was a nice little location, absent the carjacking, attempted carjacking in New Orleans. For those of you that weren't there, someone tried to carjack
That's
somebody's car while we were all parked. But aside from that, there was a casting competition, um, and anyway, it was a really good time. I'm glad we had it. I'm glad we
I
had
think
a pretty good turnout.
I think the outcome of the casting competition is we all need to work on our casting. I think
Exactly.
is what we all learned on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. The problem was half the bait casters out there were out put out of commission thanks to Chuck Bahan. He was trying to show everybody how to cast and was just backlashing everything.
well, and that's what Robert just mentioned here, that Chuck backlashed everybody's bait casters for the casting competition. So that was that was pretty funny as well. Um, so we do have now coming up. We've got Dawn to Dusk this weekend. It's going to be pretty interesting tournament. Um, I think it's our first event like this
Yeah.
for Bayou Coast, is from what I can remember, where basically it's a slam format, but you don't have to have a slam to win. It's going to be the longest combined length of up to 3 fish. So you can win with 2 fish. You can actually beat a 3-fish stringer if you can catch a big enough trout, redfish, flounder, trout, whatever. I know you're shaking your head, but look, maybe not first place, but possibly 5th place. So we're gonna have that coming up.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Launch anytime.
I don't know though.
Lines in at
I feel like
6.
I think there's enough people who are fishing Big Lake. I think that you'll see quite a few slams. I think.
I hope
I know
so.
we got
I
we
hope
got
so.
rented over in Hackberry. We're looking to have a good time next weekend.
I know who all's staying with us over there. I know we've got a place rented for that. Who's staying with
Yeah,
us?
we got Chris Landry's going to stay with us.
Mhm.
David is going to stay with us. Who all else? Let me see. I had to pull this up earlier. I think Austin may stay one night. Matt Dearman's going to stay with us. Yeah, I think that's it.
Anyway, there's gonna be a bunch of people over there.
Us.
I haven't checked the count yet. Let's see where we're at.
Yeah, and I know Ben's bringing his RV. He's going to be at an RV park right up the street. I think
Yeah.
we're putting a group of people together to go to one of the breweries that's over there that Thursday night, like the
Okay.
Screaming Eagle Brewery or something.
That should be nice.
So we'll go do that Thursday night.
So we got about 34 people signed up. I think we'll probably end up hitting around 50. Just with everything being scheduled this year, with the way that Paddlepalooza was scheduled, we had to move it earlier in the year, which was normally April and May. So a lot of these tournaments got mixed around, and this one ended up on Memorial Day weekend. But I think it's going to be a really fun time. I think the fishing is going to be good. The weather, fingers crossed, looks like it might be holding out. And then you're actually going to be able to double up with CCA starts this weekend too. So there's a good chance you can get up there and go for that tagged redfish or that star trout. They're going to be, I think, 3 big places where people will probably be fishing this weekend. Obviously, the first one is going to be Big Lake out Lake Charles. Second one, probably equally as popular, is going to be down in Grand Isle, which would be really the first time we'll have gotten to fish Grand Isle for a tournament since Ida. So actually since before Ida. So we're going back quite some time, and we're looking at basically over a year since we've been able to fish Grand Isle for a tournament. And the last place will be, Lake Pontchartrain area. They've been catching some nice trout. The flounders seem to be everywhere right now. It's been a really good year for flounders. So I think there's gonna be some flounder out there. It looked Lake Pontchartrain. It would not surprise me to see a winning stringer coming out of Lake Pontchartrain. That area, Delacroix, Hopedale, Lake Pontchartrain.
No,
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 and
that's definitely in the mix. I mean, there's been a lot of really good reports posted.
Yes, yes. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with this tournament. It's going to be CPR, so basically you can fish whenever you want to fish. I mean, you can go fish that morning, go back in, eat, take a nap, go back out that afternoon. You could pick up in Lake Charles and end up in Golden Meadow or end up in Grand Isle that afternoon. You've got plenty of time. I think it's what we figured 14 hours of fishing available. 14 hours of fishing. So it's a long time to be on the water. You do not have to stay on the water the entire time. You can go and rest and get back on. So as we anticipated, I
It's
think
going to be
Francis
hot
might
too.
be.
I don't. The weather.
Yeah. I think Francis is
Sorry, I
going to
didn't
be
mean
down
to
there
cut
at
you off.
Hopedale, I'm sure.
Internet.
Well, I see Austin's on here. He's dying to catch on. So let me add him on into the stream here. Hey there, Mr. Austin.
Howdy, fellas.
How was your Redfish Rumble?
I learned a few lessons about Terrebonne Parish.
Don't screw with the locals, is what I hear.
Yeah, just shut up and walk away. But Jonathan left me. Jonathan left me. I want everyone to know that. Jack Hickman pissed them off, and Jonathan left me.
Jonathan leaves me all the time, Austin. Don't be offended.
Oh, I'm very offended. Yeah, but you don't leave with black eyes.
Oh well, we won't get into too many details about that, other than don't piss off the locals. I heard, and that was one thing I forgot. I didn't get to make Redfish Rumble, but I heard it was a really good time out there at Pack.
Oh, it was. Wade made some great lasagna, and then I believe it was Saturday night. We ended up having way too much food to even eat, and just Jonathan kept cooking, and we had the Pelicans game on when they played. It was just all around a great weekend.
Man, that's great. So we had some new people qualify for the championship. I think El Presidente managed a 15th place finish to squeeze in at the last spot. So I know he's going to be pretty excited about that.
Yeah, that's all he talked about all weekend leading up to it was I gotta qualify. I just gotta qualify.
Can y'all? Am I back? Can y'all see me?
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Okay,
never left.
there we go. Oh, okay, good deal. No, what I was trying to say was to Austin's point. I said this will be the last thing on this. I said, some people you can learn just by learning from other people's mistakes. Some people they just got to learn for themselves.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna learn a few more lessons before my last breath, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you just got to learn it the hard way, but next time you'll be better prepared when you get down there.
For the championship down in Cocodrie.
Although I think Cocodrie is a little bit more isolated than Pack. If anything can be more isolated than Pack, it's probably Cocodrie. So that should be interesting to see when we get down there. But we'll all be down there. All three of us are qualified. We got some new people qualified, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
I've actually never been
so
there.
So Austin, you're not going to be able to make Dawn to Dusk this weekend, I understand. You've got something else going on?
Yeah, I have a family reunion, and my other two siblings have like business deals going on, and so my mom kind of guilted me into, well, I want one of my kids to be there. And then she brought up that I didn't do very well at Redfish Rumble, so I missing another tournament probably wouldn't hurt me that much. So I'm going to go hang out with them.
Well, you're qualified now, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's just I like fishing them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna probably still fish Saturday morning back home.
Well, if you could come, you could always go up fish Saturday morning, hit the Lake Pontchartrain or Hopedale or something. Be done by 10. Have your limit.
No, because that's a drive north for the family reunion. I got to be there at 11. I have to pick up at 9. I'm gonna just sit this one out.
Yeah.
Enjoy from behind the scenes.
Well, look, we've got something going on tomorrow night over in Baton Rouge. Why don't you kind of fill us in about what's going on tomorrow night for people in Baton Rouge or even in the area close by that may want to come down and join and come hang out.
So essentially, we're just having a meet and greet, everybody, just a Bayou Coast hangout at Rally Cap. I believe it's right off of Segan, and we just got all the new club hooded shirts, and we're gonna be selling them, and it's just gonna be a good time. Everybody come hang out, drink a few beers, and just everybody hanging out, getting ready for this weekend.
So you said we got some new club shirts. Have we seen them yet? Do you have some examples we can see? What's going on with this?
I will grab them right now.
Yeah, I think there's been a couple pictures posted up in the Facebook.
Yeah, there's a couple. And I actually wore mine Saturday while freshwater fishing back home, and it's a fantastic shirt. It doesn't get hot, and it's real nice.
Let's take a look. Uh-oh.
Wrong button.
Wrong button. Raccoon Squad at its finest.
Indeed.
So we've got some new shirts, Jonathan, with the new club logo on them.
Yep. Yeah, we have some blue shirts with a white logo, and then
Here we go.
Our IT guy said that he's working on putting them on the.
I had to press a button and it messed up, but this is the blue one with the white letters.
Oh, that's nice. That's beautiful. It's got the hood on it too?
Yes.
Oh man, that looks real nice. That's a Francis Tran special right there.
And then we also have the gray and orange.
Oh, I like that. I'm a fan of the blue. I think I've already got me one. So what are those shirts running for a piece?
I believe we're going to sell them tomorrow night for $30.
Yeah, and those are that's a really good material too. It's real.
Yes, it's very thick but breathable at the same time.
Yeah, and so it's got that UV protection, kind of help you get shaded from the sun, especially during the summer months. It's really easy.
And it'll be perfect for a 14-hour tournament, especially.
All day fishing.
Yeah, especially. So that should be really good there. And obviously, all those proceeds from the sale of the shirts go back to the club to help the club pay for all the expenses, things like family days, the promotional things we had over at Backpacker, etc. So we've got that that coming up here this weekend. Obviously, if you have any questions, want to sign on here, I think we put the link for the show on Facebook. So just click on the link. We can add you to the studio. You can comment here if you have any questions about this weekend's tournament. Just to kind of go over the rules real quick so people understand. You can measure up to 3 fish. It's a redfish, a trout, and a flounder. But you're only allowed to measure 1 in each species. As far as submit, you can submit as many as you want, but only 1 fish will count. Let's say that. So at the end of the day, if you catch all 3, you'll have submitted a redfish, a trout, and a flounder. And there is no minimum size because it's CPR. So you can literally measure an 8-inch flounder, a 10-inch trout, and a 13-inch redfish if you want.
And
that's perfectly
there's
fine.
actually some new little twist about that isn't there, Sean?
Absolutely. We're going to talk about that twist in just a minute. I'm glad you brought that up. So the the winner is going to be that person with the longest combined string length. So it doesn't matter if you have 2 fish or 3 fish. Whoever's got the longest length will win. Obviously, we'll be paying out multiple places. There's also a category for biggest trout and for biggest flounder. You can, I think it's launch anytime. I have to go back and check the rules, but I think it's launch anytime.
Launch anytime after
Launch
midnight.
anytime.
Launch anytime.
Although Doug Menifee did post too. He said, I've never fished over in Big Lake, and he did say in particular that I guess there's some launches over at Big Lake, and I'm sure it's the same at other places where you're not allowed to launch, at any point in time. I think it's 30 minutes before sunrise or something. You're allowed to launch, so keep that in mind. I guess you could theoretically launch earlier than that if you wanted to, but you're definitely risking getting a ticket if you're.
Yes, somebody somebody reached out to me and said the one I know for sure is the West Cove boat ramp. If you can only launch 30 minutes before daylight, and it is monitored some way, and they will ride out there and write tickets and leave them on your vehicle for you.
So for those people that don't fish that area, certainly double check those rules. I mean, pretty much anywhere else in the state, you can launch anytime. Obviously, be careful. You're getting out there. Let's see. Chris says it's launches that are on federal refuge that have curfew hours. So, double check that. Otherwise, if you're not in those federal refuge areas rather, I don't know if they have any refugees over there, but those federal refuge areas, then, you want to check the rules for that. Otherwise, you can launch anytime. Fishing doesn't start till 6, though. You can't fish till 6. You get out there, you're going to have all day to fish, so I don't think there's a need to go out and launch at midnight or anything like that. You've got the entire state, so I don't think you have to worry about beating anyone to a spot. So again, you can submit those 3 fish, any size. The only limitation is that any redfish submitted will be capped at 30 inches. So if it's over 30, then the most you're going to get is 30 inches. So make sure you don't put in a number bigger than 30. If you do, it'll be reduced down to 30 anyway. But that's the only limitation. The only reason why we're capping that limit is simply because we don't have boards really big enough to be able to double check and verify the authenticity of the board for greater than 30 inches. So anyways, that's how we're going to play that tournament this weekend. Results will be announced on Sunday.
You get the
and we're going to, again, because we're going to be calculating everything through the night on Saturday with an 8 o'clock cutoff time. We're going to want to do all that. And then we might end up announcing the results. I think I've got it listed at 4, but we may end up doing it a little bit earlier. I'll probably make a decision on that soon. So that's going to be for this weekend. Now, we're also going to have, after this tournament this weekend, we're going to be announcing our fun tournament. It's going to be members only. It's going to be a fun event that we're going to have. We're going to have all kinds of different categories. It's going to be free entry for all the club members. It won't be cash prizes as much as it's going to be some really interesting awards. It's going to be some very interesting categories. We're probably going to be boiling crabs, shrimp, stuff like that. So we'll be announcing the date, location, and all of that as soon as this tournament's over. Probably looking at sometime in July for that tournament. No, it's going to be hot, but that's okay. It's going to be more of a fun deal where you're going to get out there, have fun, get back, and hopefully we'll have a nice event set up for that tournament.
Non-AOI tournament.
Non-AOI event. Hang on just a second. Let me cut something off real quick. Got a little loud in the background over here.
Hey, Jonathan, I'm not 100% sure, but did he mention the twist that we added to Dawn to Dusk?
No.
Yeah, go ahead. That's what I was going to mention next. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about the twist that you guys decided to throw in there? Makes it a little bit more interesting.
So just to make it a little bit more interesting, we decided to add the Dink Awards. And the person that catches the smallest fish of each species, that does not place in the money already is gonna win a brand new Bayou Coast hooded fishing shirt.
Yeah, those sweet shirts that Austin showed off earlier, the 3 individuals who measure the smallest fish in each species will win one of those shirts. So even if you catch a little bitty fish, catch a little bitty flounder, a little bitty trout, just post it up there on Attorney X. Even if it ends up not being in your final bag of fish, we can go back and check and see what fish were submitted. And the consolation prizes for the smallest fish in each category, everybody will get a blue shirt for free.
Just
And-
call it the Dusk Till Dawn Dinks.
There you go.
Dusk to dawn. So as long as you don't place in the money, if you only catch one fish that day and say it's an 8-inch flounder and you submit it, you could end up winning a brand new fresh Bayou Coast T-shirt with that 8-inch flounder.
Yep, some Bayou Coast swag.
That's awesome. That's a pretty good little payday there at the end of the day for a horrible day of fishing. You get a brand new shirt.
And I don't know if we posted the pictures yet, but we do have some really sweet plaques made by Mike Carter that will be
beautiful plaque.
First through third place for the top finishers.
And
Yeah,
I
who
actually
made the plaques?
Mike Carter, the same
Okay.
Same guy who did the plaques for Redfish Longboard.
Really nice. Really nice.
And me and Matt Dearman actually ran into him in West Cove a few weeks back whenever we were fishing. And Mike's just a great guy, first class guy, and he definitely makes some very sweet looking plaques.
Yeah. Jonathan, I know after Paddlepalooza, the last couple of months, I think we announced it on the website, but the club's got a new huge sponsor that just signed on this year. Maybe tell us a little bit about that. I know our sponsor coordinators really did a great job bringing this one on with COVID and everything. A lot of our sponsors are a little bit tight right now because of supply, et cetera. This sponsor came on and really put up some big dollars for the club. Tell us who that sponsor is. Tell us a little bit about what they gave us and what's going to happen in the future with them.
Yeah, so Josh Lewis and Austin have worked their butts off over basically since the end of last year coming into this year to make relationships, form new relationships, in addition to working relationships that we had with sponsors of the club. Like Sean said, COVID and then now all these supply chain shortages across the globe. It's been kind of tough to procure the stuff that we need to keep the club running. So we formed a new relationship with Academy Sports and Outdoors. I'm sure a lot of people are very familiar with them. I actually used to work for them in college for a couple of years in the hunting and fishing section. They're a great company. They are supporting the club in a really big way. They're providing they're providing a lot of gift cards to the club. So we're going to use those to basically pay out all the fish prizes for fall and tide this year. So you'll see really healthy amounts of gift cards for those prizes. In addition, there will be some other giveaways at some of the other tournaments, like a trout challenge where we have the get together at Redfish Rumble. We gave away a couple $100 in gift cards from them as well for everybody who came and hung out with us. Yeah, exactly. And you'll see some other stuff coming from them over the next several months. We'll be doing some product reviews, videos, media, that kind of stuff for them. They're really excited to be a part of Bayou Coast, and we're really excited to have them on board. And then another thing that you'll see coming up pretty soon is Heroes on the Water, the New Orleans chapter. We're working with them right now in Academy to put together some larger scale events. They do monthly get-togethers. We're going to try to bolster a couple of those events and make a couple of those events a little bit bigger than what they normally do and provide some support and volunteers and all that. So y'all will see us posting on that more and more frequently on that.
Yeah, so Academy coming on board is just a great deal for the club. Just another huge sponsor coming out, helping out with some of these fish divisions. Takes a lot of pressure off the club to really come out of pocket for a lot of these things. So we've got that coming up. For those of you that are interested, actually, we did have, not non-Bayou Coast, but, we cover all the clubs here on Off the Water. We're not affiliated with any particular club, but we covered all. We had a tournament out there on Bayou Bienvenue for Swamp Country Kayak Bass Association that turned out to be a pretty good event. Jonathan, you want to tell us a little bit about that one? I know you
Heard it was
pretty
a
good day.
very tight finish. It came down to the last quarter inch.
Hey, I tell
It
you
did.
what,
It was a very, very competitive tournament for everybody like 5th through 10th place.
it ended up being a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. If I wasn't 10 miles away from the launch, I probably could have put up some more numbers. But yeah, I mean, we fished Bayou Bienvenue for the Swamp Country tournament, and it was a MLF style, so any fish counts above 12 inches. So you could post as many fish as you wanted. I mean, I figured it would probably take about 200 inches to win. It ended up being right at 200. I think I finished with like
You
190.
didn't need it though.
No, I didn't quite need it. It was crazy. I fished that area a good bit. It's literally 15 minutes from my house, so it's my backyard. But the water, for people who aren't familiar, Bayou Bienvenue is basically just a big marsh area that has two locks that control the water flow in that area. And for whatever reason, we got one of those late cold fronts in the spring, and it blew out all the water in Bayou Bienvenue. I talked to a couple local guys that were down there. They said that they've lived there, fished there for 20, 30 years, and that is by far the lowest they've seen it. I mean, basically, for people who know all the marsh area in Bayou Bienvenue, there was no water in the marsh. It was basically all mud. So you could really only fish in the main canals,
Well,
the
I'm
main
so
bayous.
surprised Travis and Ben didn't end up stuck in a mud flat.
I thought for certain there were going to be some people stuck because the water was muddy, it was nasty, it was really shallow. I honestly got really lucky. I fished a couple areas that I've never even been to there. I just went as far as I could and tried to stay in water that looked deep enough. And I found a couple little pockets where I think fish kind of got trapped in there because they couldn't get out anywhere else. The water was too shallow, and they were kind of deeper holes. And there were a couple areas in particular where their fish were just stacked in there.
So you managed to win on that one. I think you retained the title of Rougarou,
The King
champion
Rougarou.
Rougarou. There, you won the Toledo Bend event. You won the Bayou Bienvenue event. Who else placed there? I think I know you. I believe Breck placed. Steve Lassard.
Was it Steve? Yeah. Believe
Yeah.
it was Jonathan, Breck, Steve.
Yeah. So that really 3 really good bass fishermen. It killed me that the weather wasn't better or that the water wasn't up, because that is just a great fishery. Really hope to have it back next year and over there and maybe with better conditions, because I honestly think with the right conditions, 200 inches would be really easy to do with all the bass they have over there.
Yeah, I was really disappointed. I figured that it was going to be, that there would be several people in that 200 inch range, but the weather was just insane. The couple of days before, the wind was blowing, and it blew all the water out.
Yeah. So we do have the next Swamp Country event is going to be up in September over in the Lafayette area. That's going to be on which lake is that, Jonathan?
Lake Martin. Yeah. I think. Sorry, let me turn this fan off real quick.
And I'm actually gonna fish that because I took my first freshwater trip this past Saturday, and I kind of like these little green fish.
Yeah, it is.
I'm starting to like them more and more this year too. I think for the Lake Martin event, we talked about potentially changing the date. Maybe, I don't know. We need to look into that a little bit more. I think it's scheduled for September 10th right now, which is, I think, opening of teal season. And from what I understand, Lake Martin has a lot of duck hunters. So if that ends up being the case, then
that whole area is a lot of duck hunting.
Yeah. So we'll definitely have to check that out and see. Locking down one date, though, I think we probably finally got it figured out after going through many conflicts with the National Saltwater Kayak Series, going to be out of Alabama and Florida. I think we are now looking at June 25th. Is probably going to be the date. I am waiting on some additional commentary. I'll probably announce it tomorrow, but probably going to be June 25th. If you want to fish it, it's going to be a lot of fun, though. We're going to get out there. We're going to fish, Gulf Shores over there to Pensacola, Fort Morgan, maybe up to Navarre. The boundaries are still being worked out, but it will be from Fort Morgan going east, at least to Pensacola, maybe a little bit further.
And there's going to be 2 reds and 2 trout, right, Sean?
What's that?
It's going to be 2 reds and 2 trout.
I don't know yet. We're gonna have to figure that out. I have to get with the board of NSKS, see what they can agree to, because they all have their own opinions, and it's funny when you get a board together, no one can agree to anything. So we'll have to see about that one. But we'll get that one set up. I'll probably have registration open this week. And then we'll have the I think the Louisiana Texas tournament side is set for September as well. And then we are going to look at the championship being, I think what most people are saying, the Sunday after falling tide, because a lot of people will be down here already. And given the choice of fishing that Friday or Sunday, I think a lot of people are interested in fishing that Sunday, because we're going to have a lot of people coming in from out of town that are already going to be down here. So that is probably what we're looking like for the championship. Obviously, the scuba championship is going to be in December, Caney Creek. I can't even look at that one yet because it's still kind of far out there, and I just don't want to get too excited about it. But my God, are they catching some huge bass out there. Every time I see those Caney Creek numbers coming up, somebody's always throwing up a 10-pounder out there, and that just gets me excited.
Man, if the weather lines up decent, I'd be surprised if somebody doesn't catch a double digit while we're out there.
I mean, I'd be so shocked if I didn't,
Let's not get too carried away.
I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it. I'm calling my number.
Sean's looking for redemption after
10.4 ounces. 10 pounds, 4 ounces is what I'm calling. 5 fish. I'm figuring 102 inches is what I'm thinking. 102 is what's going to take to win it.
I bet it'll take about 100 inches.
Yeah.
Plus minus 5, probably.
Yeah. Austin, you gonna fish the championship out there?
If I end up fishing Lake Martin, I'd just as soon come out there.
Well, you don't even have to fish Lake Martin. I mean, you just come out there and fish it. You don't have to. There's no qualification necessary. Everybody's free to fish it.
I thought the championship you had to enter one of the other tournaments.
No. You just gotta get out there and register. And we're gonna be out there a couple of days too. I know. I'm taking off a couple of days. I'm gonna get out there. It's far enough up there that you're gonna want to, you don't really drive up for the day and back. It's a little trip, but it's kind of one of those bucket list trips, I think.
My boss is usually normally lenient on my fishing activities.
Well, I'm hoping we get your boss up there to cook for us again. He did such a fantastic job last time at the last championship. Man, that food was so good when we got off the water. So it was a really good time. It always is.
That was a
really good time.
I think we're going to have a really good turnout for that one. I wouldn't be surprised if we had 50 anglers show up for that championship.
That'd be nice.
The way the buy-ins for the bass tournaments are a little bit higher, especially on the championship.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be some significant payouts. Like even for the last one, Dustin won. I think he won like a little over $1,000. I think.
Yeah.
$1,200, something like that. And we only had.
Oh yeah. It was a really good payout.
Maybe.
There's no fluff in there. It's all, it's almost 100% payout aside from the Tourney X PayPal fee and something for the awards. But I mean, the trophies are great. The payouts are great. I think we're gonna get a lot of people over there. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But we'll talk about that one. It's still, that's still 7 months away.
I'm excited for that one.
I know. I'm excited too. But I'm looking forward to Dawn to Dusk. I hadn't been fishing in a couple months. I've had some other things going on in my life, so I haven't had to fish in a couple months. But I am excited to get back out there. I get to hang out with my boys, and we are going to have some fun. Going to have the Crown Reserve ready. We're gonna party Thursday night, and we're gonna party some Friday night, and see what happens. I haven't fished Big Lake in a while.
Though I'm not fishing, I do have every intention of driving down one of the nights to party with y'all.
Absolutely. Well, Thursday night would probably be the night.
Yeah, that's the most likely
early Saturday. But Look, I'm excited to see the stringers. I mean, I
I
know
really am too.
uh, we may not have 70, 80 people show up for this tournament, but yeah, that's okay. I mean, we got plenty of money in the coffers, and this is really a unique event. So if you want to fish something kind of unique, where you can fish anywhere you want. That's the great thing about it. Anywhere you want, anytime you want, really during the day. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a very unique event. Glad we're having that. After this tournament, though, we do have a break in the Bayou schedule as far as uh, big tournaments, pay for tournaments. The next one will be Fall and Tide, which was moved up to early October, I think,
October 1st, I think.
because of the potential issue with the flounder cutoff, with Wildlife and Fisheries saying that, hey, you're catching too many flounder out there. Y'all need to stop catching flounder. It has nothing to do with
We're
the
not
trip boats or
catching too
anything, but
many, but
Bayou
it
Coast members
rhymes
are
with
catching too
hokey
many
float.
flounder, apparently. Jonathan, we can't hear you.
Nope.
No, still can't hear you.
How about now?
Yep,
There
there
you
you
go.
go.
There we go. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, Wildlife and Fisheries was saying that there's going to be a flounder moratorium October 15th, October 15th through November 15th, I believe, which is basically, peak flounder run. Texas has done that the past couple years, so I think they're just kind of piggybacking off of that. So we talked with the people at Bridgeside. They've done a ton of work since Hurricane Ida, getting everything back up and running. They'll have at least half their facilities available by then. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they get everything back online as far as condos and all that. They should hopefully have those done. They'll be making an announcement once they get the second half of the condos up and available for rental. But yeah, Fall and Tide will be October 1st. And then we move Trout Challenge back to the, Chris Landry's posting up the dates for that. And then Trout Challenge will be October 22nd. That's going to be a great time to get down there and trout fish.
October 22nd, down Highway 1, Golden Meadow. Boy, if we get a little bit of a cold front, Golden Meadow should be on fire. Leeville is going to be good. Grand Isle, it's going to be somewhere over there between Grand Isle and Golden Meadow. Just got to find out where they're at. But when you find them, should be a really, really good time. We'll figure out the way and location maybe as we start getting a little closer and figuring out, where maybe the trout are at that time of year. I suspect the weigh-in will probably be somewhere, on everybody's way out, probably somewhere in Golden Meadow. They've got those in the park right there by the launch. They've got those covered areas that would be really good for that. So we'll be announcing that later on. But Dawn to Dusk this weekend. If you haven't signed up yet, hey, look, it's a great opportunity to qualify for the championship. Top 15 makes it, and right now I'm predicting about 50 people signing up. So a little bit, almost 1 in 3 will qualify.
Being a CPR tournament is also a perfect way to double dip for Massey's fish picks.
That's a great point, Austin. And I wanted to bring up Massey's. I know you guys are more involved in it right now. I've got to go get my card and everything. I think I got my card. We're setting a record this year with the number of participants in Massey's. Isn't that correct?
Yes, we've already basically broken the Massey's fish picks. I think the last time I checked, we were at 75 or 76
Wow.
in the conventional. And I want to say we got into double digits on the fly division as well.
That's awesome. Now, just for the people that don't know, Massey's Fish Picks is anybody that's a member of the club. It's a free tournament for them.
It's not free. It's $5.50, but it goes to the PayPal and Tourney X.
Yeah. So basically, there's no entry fee. You just have to pay for your Tourney X fee and your PayPal fee, which is $5.50. But other than that, the with the Massey's Fish Picks, you get how many categories are there? How many different species do you submit, and which species are there?
So it's in the conventional. It's 4 species, which is redfish, speckled trout, flounder, and bass.
Uh-huh.
And you enter your biggest of all species throughout the whole year. And at the end of the year, there's a point system that goes by who catches the biggest fish of each species. And once their points are tallied up, first place this year is going to walk away with a brand new Hobie compass or their choice of a $2,500 gift card.
Ooh.
Second place is $1,000. Excuse me. Second place is $1,000 gift card, and third place is $500. And we also have big fish categories for all of all the species, and I believe we're also throwing in 2 or 3 places for the kids division as well.
That's great. And how long does this tournament run through?
It's gonna run all the way until I think the last day of February of next year, 2023.
So if you hadn't started, you still got plenty of time.
Plenty of time. And then all it takes is one fish, and I believe the big fish species, it's a $300 gift card that can be used on clothes, kayaks, accessories. And if they don't have it, there's a lot of things that they don't carry every day, but they can get for you to use your gift card on. And so it's just a great opportunity for people who don't quote unquote tournament fish.
So frankly, wants to know if we sign up at Massey's website or on Tourney X. I believe for this one, you sign up on Tourney X.
On Tourney X, if you just type in Massey's fish picks, it'll pop up 2023 conventional hard to fly.
Yeah. And speaking, this is a great weekend for those people going out there fishing for flounder. It's a great weekend to try to get out there and catch a flounder, put it on your Massey's. A big trout out there, maybe. You know, for the Star and Dawn to Dusk and Massey's. You really triple dip this weekend.
Yes,
Somebody wants to
exactly.
know if they can order torpedoes. I don't know if Massey's sells torpedoes or not.
That's something I don't know either.
Yeah. So we'd have to check with them and see. But certainly, you know, it may be possible, you know.
And John Ford and Val are great. So on any questions about that, I'm sure they would be happy to assist anybody if you call up there.
Yeah.
Speaking of torpedoes, they seem to be gaining a little bit more popularity these days.
I keep telling everybody all it takes is one ride on the Torpedo, and that's it.
That's not true, though, because I got towed back, and I still don't want one.
Well, that's because you got towed back. If you didn't get towed back, you'd be like, man, I wish I had a Torpedo. I could put it down and Torpedo win.
You know, everyone knows my speaking on Torpedo, but I will admit, a couple of weeks ago, I was crossing West Cove, and I told Jonathan on the phone, boy, a Torpedo would sure be nice right now. So,
I seem to recall towing you in with my Torpedo too.
Yeah. Well, no, I was talking about being towed by you, but just crossing West Cove pedaling, having been a Torpedo would have been nice.
Absolutely. Well, Frank, yeah, you're not allowed to use the Torpedoes on tournament day, unfortunately. So that's a rule that, you know, for Bayou Coast. Now, the Swamp Country tournaments, you can use them. Those they follow the rules. Swamp Country follows the rules with Bassmaster that allows you to use them. National Saltwater Kayak Series, you cannot use them this year. We will see going forward. I do know that Butch Ridgedale had swore he wasn't going to fish any Swamp Country tournaments because they allowed the Torpedo. He ended up fishing the tournaments anyway, and now he owns a Torpedo. So they will get you. They are a game changer. They actually can make it a lot of fun, especially when you're traveling big distances. Close in quarters, it's not going to make a difference. But when you're going a couple miles and you're really humping it out there, it'll really save a day for you getting out there. So anyway, we're looking forward to it. We are going to do a live broadcast on Sunday to announce the winners of Dawn to Dusk. So we'll be back out here on Sunday to do that. And I'm thinking I'll probably move the time up to like say noon or something. I have something going on that afternoon that'll probably prompt me to move it up a little bit. And hey, look, everybody, it's getting ready for Memorial Day. People are going to want to get on there, get their day moving on. So we'll try to get that up. Hell, we may even move it up to like 11 or something. We'll figure something out, but we'll announce it in advance as we get it going. So
the earlier you can send me my check, the better.
yes, exactly. Check for 5th place.
Francis said
Or-
it's 2022. We're all getting soft.
I don't know if that shirt. I don't think you can cash a Bayou Coast shirt in for a check, Jonathan. You may just have to get a second version of the Dink Shroud Award. But all seriously, I saw Mike Malone was fishing out in Lake Charles this week. He had a really nice stringer. He had a limit of reds, 5 flounder, and a number of trout that he caught. So
it's going to take a big stringer of fish.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
I'm saying 65 to 70 inches.
70 inches?
That's not unheard of. A 30-inch red, a 22-inch trout, and an 18-inch flounder.
One thing also that I don't know if we mentioned earlier, you are allowed to use live bait.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You can use live dead bait, basically whatever you want. So I would say, yeah, Steve's saying 70 inches. I was thinking about 68 inches, high 60s, maybe 70 inches.
I'm with you, Steve, 70 inches.
It's possible.
I'm more with Robert. I think Robert's saying 66, and I'll tell you why. I think if you are fishing Big Lake, I don't think you're going to end up with a 30-inch redfish. I think you're going to have – well, listen to me for a second. I think you're going to have a 25, 26-inch redfish. I think you'll have a shot at a bigger flounder and a decent trout. Now, if you head towards Grand Isle, I think you will have a shot at that 30-inch redfish.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think you're going to have that bigger flounder. So I think it's going to be a trade-off here. I think that, you're still looking at about 65, 66 inches, which say if you had a 25-inch red, 20-inch trout, and say a 20-inch flounder, it puts you about 65,
But let's not act like there aren't still big flounder caught in Grand Isle, and there's redfish that are over 30 inches in Big Lake.
Oh, sure. I just think, though, you got to remember, if you're saying, hey, someone's going to catch a 30-inch redfish in Big Lake, okay, that may be possible, but are they also going to catch that big trout, big flounder? It's not just one. It's got to be all three. So,
I mean, I definitely get it, but I've seen this skill level of our Bayou Coast anglers, and I think we're still going to reach high 60s, low 70s.
That's what I was laughing at earlier was Francis's comment.
When y'all had live bait. I haven't fished live bait since the Rick's tournament last year, and that was horrible. Reminds me, the Rick's Puglia's tournament is coming up here. I think that one's in June.
Early June, I believe.
Early June. So if you haven't fished that one, that's always a fun tournament. If you're looking for something to do, you can go on.
June 10th.
Yeah, you can stop by Puglia's or go on their Facebook page, and Puglia's will have a link, I think, for the registration. You can fish teams out of kayaks. I think up to 4 members is how they normally do it. It's a lot of fun. Redfish, trout. So it's going to be good. So Tyler is saying, why isn't someone going to fish both places though? Someone might go for broke. Someone like Breck would probably go for broke, but that is
I know a few other people as well that may travel. That's why
after I get
the 14 hours is such a big deal.
After I get an 18, 20-inch flounder and a 20, 24-inch trout at Big Lake, I might be making that drive over to hit that 70 inches.
To Basons?
I don't know. We'll just have to see.
Maybe you drive home to Delacroix?
Maybe I drive home to Bayou Bienvenue right in my backyard.
There you go. There you go. It could be interesting. It could be interesting.
I still think that we're gonna have some fantastic stringers.
I think we're going to have a lot of slams. I'll say
Oh,
this. I
yeah.
think we'll
Oh,
have a lot
yeah.
of 3-fish stringers.
There's going to be a lot of stringers of probably
Full
high 50s to
slams.
mid 60s. I think there will be a few of them.
Full slams, I'm saying over 10 of them.
Well, Jonathan, I know Katie's got to be excited knowing that you're going to be out there fishing for flounder, hopefully coming home with some big flounder to stuff.
Oh, yeah. You should have seen her. She was so excited after I caught that flounder by Bienvenue. I came home with that check and a full deboned flounder. It doesn't get any better than that.
Unreal. He's out there fishing for freaking bass, and he catches a flounder.
That's when you –
And multiple redfish and a catfish.
Yeah. And trout were caught, too. I think they caught everything that day. They caught green bass, white bass,
trout,
flounder, redfish, trout. It was really crazy. Really crazy. All right, guys. Well, look, we're coming up on the hour note here. I promised I would keep myself to an hour limit just so we don't bore people to death. So we covered a lot of things. Be on the lookout for when we're going to announce the winners. I'm going to take a look at my schedule tomorrow and figure when we can get all the results in. But it will be Sunday, probably before noon. And you can register for this tournament, I think, all the way up through Friday. The identifier will be released Friday night. You have any questions, email the club, Facebook the club, whatever. Look, it's going to be hard to screw up on this tournament. Just make sure you use the right board. We've got certain boards that we approve. Look at those boards. You can only use those boards. Don't use any other boards. Remember to use your identifier. Remember to use your correct identifier. Do not just use Matthew's identifier because that identifier will not work for this tournament. Now, you can have the Matthew's identifier in the picture with you. So put both identifiers in every picture. Take multiple pictures. There is no minimum, so you shouldn't have to worry about getting a fish DQ'd because of that. There's no maximum. Take a look at the rules. Make sure you submit the picture right. But other than that, you should be good. We try to make this as idiot-proof as possible. We don't want to DQ anybody, so just take a look at the rules one more time. If you're not sure how to submit a fish, ask somebody, and we can post some examples or something.
And keep your phone on you too, and keep it on loud, especially when you're submitting fish early, just in case if there's something wrong. The judge or somebody on the board will probably reach out to you and let you know how to fix whatever the issue is, so it doesn't keep happening later in the day.
Yep. Austin is going to be judging the tournament for us this week. Basically, all he's going to do is just make sure that your fish is on the board, nose against it, measurements correct, and approved. So, well, guys, I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a broadcast.
Don't forget about the meetup tomorrow night around 6 o'clock at Rally Cap.
That's right. Rally Cap Brewery, Segan Lane. The crew's going to be out there, Bayou Coast crew. Meet up. Y'all get out there, have some fun. If I can find someone to take a ride with me, I may make it out there as well and enjoy that.
Bring some cash money.
If you plan on buying a shirt just to make it easier as possible, try to bring a little cash with you.
Yes.
Cash
would be good.
$30.
Good.
All right, guys. Fellas, I appreciate y'all.
Thanks for joining me tonight. Hopefully I might see you guys tomorrow. If not, I will definitely see y'all this weekend. Thanks everybody for joining us.
Later on.
Look forward to seeing y'all this weekend. Thanks.
Later, y'all.
All right. Bye.